Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki. Hare Krishna. So finally we finished 27th chapter. So we have seen Bhakti Misra Gnanam. By that, how one can achieve the Brahman realization, which is Avyayam. That means after getting that, one will never go back. That Brahman realization, how one can achieve through the Gnana, is explained in detail in the previous chapter, 27th chapter. And that kind of yogi or practitioner, he will not be attracted by the intermediate products. That means some kind of siddhis. So that is said in the last shloka. So why is so much noise? Okay. After discussing this, so Sri Kapila Bhagavan is further continuing his things. He is going to explain now Bhakti Misra Yoga. So Bhakti Misra Gnanam is over. Now Bhakti Misra Yoga is being explained. Yoga process he will be explaining, but it is mixed with the Bhakti. That is a discussion of this chapter. And it's a very simple chapter. It's not having any much commentary and having the little big purports. And quickly we'll finish and find some points from the purports. We make the points from the purports and we'll finish this. And we'll start the 29th chapter, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, 29th chapter is such a big chapter, and also it needs a lot of, that means, time. If you give proper time, then we can discuss many things, because in the Bhakti Sandarbha, very much it is quoted in many places, and that's why many things are there to focus in that chapter. In this chapter, actually, Prabhupada purports are there bit bigger. Other than this, no, actually nothing is discussed by our acharyas, because it's very simple actually. Ashtanga yoga process, the various angas of the Ashtanga yoga are explained, and then after that, so meditating on the Lord in the heart and how that Lord looks and his beauty of the Lord is also explained there. So in this way, the Lord's beauty is being explained there. So this is the thing we'll be discussing there. And also how to meditate. That means our meditation should not be fully at one time at all the limbs of the Lord. So one should meditate on the Lord limb by limb. So that limb by limb meditation is explained here by the Kapila Bhagavan. So from where we should start and where we should end, so that is explained in this chapter. So that is the main discussion. Okay, let's continue our Shri Bhagavan Vacha Yogasya Lakshanam Vakshe Sabijasya Natmaje Jasya Rupatmaje Mano Yenaiva Vidhina Prasannam Yati Satpatham. Translation: The personality of Godhead said, "My dear mother, O daughter of the king, now I shall explain to you the system of yoga, the object of which is to concentrate the mind. By practicing this system, one can become joyful and progressively advance towards the path of the absolute truth." So this is the thing he is explaining. What he's saying, oh daughter of the king. Who is that king? Swayambhu Manu. So she is the daughter of the Swayambhu Manu. And my dear mother, Yogasya Lakshanam Vakshe. What I am going to discuss to you with you? Yogasya Lakshanam. I am going to explain to you yoga. Manaha yenaiva vidina prasannam yati satpatham. By which, by that yoga, what is? By practicing that yoga, what will happen? One can become joyful and progressively advance towards the path of absolute truth. So by knowing this yoga, the characteristics of the yoga, the lakshana of the yoga, so one can progress in the path towards the supreme truth. Is the point. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is writing a summary statement of this chapter. Ashtasu angeshu yogasya dhyanam Vistharya varnyate ashtavimshe yato yogi muktim vindet ayatnataha. In this chapter, what is being explained? Yogasya ashtasu angeshu dhyanam vistharya varnyate. In the yoga system also, what anga is explained here? In the 8 angas of the Ashtanga system, which anga is explained here? Dhyanam. Dhyana angam is very, very in detail is explained here. Yama, Niyama, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar. Next, Dharana, Dhyana. Next, Samadhi. These are the 8. In that, Dhyana is Vistarya Varnyate. That means elaborately explained in this. Ashtanga Yoga, the 6th, the 7th anga is explained. By this, what? Yogi can easily attain liberation. That is the point. So bhaktim upadishya evam sadhyam uktva tadanvitam ashtanga yogam tanmishram arebhe vaktum ishvaraha. So in this also he will be explaining little bit bhakti. So after teaching the bhakti, then he is going to explain that bhakti mishra yoga. So he is going to start the bhakti mishra yoga. In that bhakti mishra yoga, what he will be explaining in this more elaborately? Dhyanam. This is a point. Okay, purport. The yoga process explained by Lord Kapila Dev in this chapter is authorized and standard. And therefore, these instructions should be followed very carefully. So what is the difference between the yoga system explained by Kapila Bhagwan here and the outside Ashtanga yoga explained by the Patanjali? There is a difference. In the previous chapter, we have seen in the 26th chapter, Kapila. So explaining the Sankhya philosophy. That Sankhya and the outside Kapila, that means in the 6 darshanas, Kapila's Sankhya is there. So that Sankhya, what is the difference between these two? And what is the difference between the Kapila, this Kapila's Ashtanga Yoga and outside Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga? So in the outside Kapila's Sankhya, they don't accept the Paramatma. That means Paramapurusha is not accepted. Only Purusha they accept. That's why they have only 26 elements. 24 plus 25 Prakriti, 26 is, yeah. That means Paramatma they don't accept. Remaining everything they accept. So that is a problem in their case. But in that case, so in our system, we accept the Paramatma. And also in the Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, the Supreme Lord is not the goal for them actually. So clearly, and they will be having the Samadhi on Brahman or something. So I'm not knowing exactly, but here it is clearly here whatever he is explaining in this the yoga process explained by Kapil Bhagavan, this chapter is already- and therefore the instruction should be followed by very carefully. He is explaining Bhakti Mishra Ashtanga Yoga. So actually, yeah, that is the difference. In the Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, there is no element of bhakti there actually. So here in this case of here whatever process he explained, it is a Bhakti Mishra Yoga. That is the point. Next, to begin, the Lord says that by yoga practice, one can make progress towards understanding the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the previous chapter, it has been clearly stated that the desired result of yoga is not to achieve some wonderful mystic power. That is the last sloka in the previous chapter. We are seeing the sadhana, whatever we are doing towards the supreme truth, that is not meant for the attaining the anima, manima, lagma, and so on, so siddhis. So devotees are not. That means the practitioner, that yoga, Bhakti Mishra Gnani, he will not be, should not be bewildered by this, and he should not be attracted by the pleasure of the even so Brahmaloka, the wealth of the Brahmaloka. One should not be at all attracted by such mystic power, but should attain progressive realizations on the path of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, which states in the last verse of the sixth chapter of that the great yogi is he who constantly thinks of Krishna within himself, or he who is Krishna consciousness. It is stated here that by following the system of yoga, one can become joyful. Lord Kapila, the personality of Godhead, is the highest authority on yoga. Here explains the yoga system known as Ashtanga Yoga, which comprises 8 different practices, namely Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. By all these stages of practice, one must realize Lord Vishnu, who is the target of all yoga. Therefore, there are so-called yoga practices in which one concentrate the mind on wideness or in the personal impersonal, but this is not approved by the authorized yoga system as explained by the Kapila Dev. Even Patanjali explains that the target of yogi is Vishnu. In the outside now you'll be seeing the many yogis, they are going western world and they are introducing the yoga system, and also we are celebrating the yoga day. So where there is no bhakti to Vishnu is not at all a element there is there. Just they are doing the yoga for the sake of physical fitness, and so that they can enjoy more with this body, have the more sex and have the long sex. This is the main goal actually their life. So that they can happily reduce overcome these so-called diseases, and fitness of the body is meant for them is only material gratification, more material gratification. So but the yoga system is ultimately is meant for what we are following the yama, niyama, asana, and so many asanas also they do just to stabilize the body, and so that one can focus in the meditating on the Lord. So that was the intention of the so doing these yama, niyama, asana, and so on. So but we are using for the material gain, actually material pleasure. This is a defect actually in the so-called yoga system. Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga is therefore part of the Vaishnava practice because it is its ultimate goal is realization of Vishnu. The achievement of success in yoga is not acquisition of mystic power, which is or otherwise that means these yogis they'll be doing the yoga system, they'll be practicing to get the various siddhis also they use. So they try to get the anima, lagma, mahima, that's Himalayas, they are sitting and doing the Ashtanga Yoga. So they are attracted by the siddhis and traveling into the intra-universes, and also traveling inside the universe, also various planets, seeing the things. And they are simply just wasting their time in these things. Next, Swadharma Charanam Shaktya Vidharmacha Nivartanam Daivallabdena Santosha Atma Vicharanarchanam. Translation: one should execute his prescribed duties to the best of his ability and avoid performing duties not allotted to him. One should be satisfied with as much as gain he achieves by the grace of the Lord. And one should worship the lotus feet of spiritual master. Yeah, question, yes, please.
Prabhu, just previously you said that the difference between Patanjali Yoga and the yoga explained here is that in Patanjali Yoga there is no reference to bhakti.
Yeah.
But it's very often quoted from Patanjali Yoga Sutras that one of the, I think, niyamas is 126. I looked it up. It goes as Ishvara Pranidhan.
In 126?
Yeah, 126 Yoga Sutras.
Ishvara Yoga Sutras. Yeah.
So
there is no bhakti actually. That's the point I said. Bhakti element is not there.
But there is no bhakti element in those who practice.
Yes.
Or because Patanjali Muni, most likely he put the bhakti element in there. It's just the fault is in the practitioners, not in the sutras, right?
Yes. So without bhakti, that kind of system also will not be is giving any result actually. Success will not be there. And also, but now those, so that means ultimately yoga system also is attaining for the Vishnu, but one should go for the bhakti actually, ultimately by that. So in the bhakti also smaranam is there, and there that smaranam is going to become a samadhi actually. Like Vyasdev also went into the samadhi, but through the bhakti yoga he went actually. And this Ashtanga yoga system here, Kapil Bhagavan is mixing with the bhakti. And but in the case of the simple Patanjali system, there is no mixing of the bhakti. Yeah, they will be also trying for the Ishvara, but also they are using for that Anima, Lagima, Mahima, and so on, so siddhis for attaining those, and also Brahman realization. But that is a pervading in the society also. So, Ishvara, that means ultimately showing the element of the bhakti is not there in that. Yeah. Yes. So one should now he is explaining. So how to do this Ashtanga yoga? First, Yama Niyama. First and foremost thing is before that actually Yama Niyama is coming from the third sloka. Atra tatra Yama Niyamanaha tribihi akshara dvayadikaihi. So the next sloka onwards, first he is saying that Sarva Swadharma Charanam Shaktya Vidivaccha Nivartanam. Shaktya Vidharmacha Nivartanam. So there is no commentary on this. And so Swadharma Charanam, following his prescribed duties, Shaktya, according to his ability. Vidharmacha Nivartana. Vidharma means which is not prescribed to you. Swadharma, Vidharma. Vidharma is opposite, others' duties. Like if dog's duty donkey is doing, then what will happen? You all know this story, no? So donkey, one time, donkey story, you know all or not? Huh? Many donkey stories. This donkey story is, so one time actually, so one donkey and one washerman is having the one donkey and also one dog, and this dog is angry with the some reasons with the washerman. Then washerman's donkey is there, it is very faithful, so always accompany him and they have good friendship, washerman and donkey. So one day what happened, so some thieves in the night time they tried to steal, so they are entering into the house of that washerman, and dog is also watching, but he's having angry on that and angry on him, so that's why he doesn't want to bark. And but donkey is watching and he's feeling that, oh my god, now thieves may enter into my owner's house and they will steal everything, so better I should wake up him. So that's why he started barking like that. So he barking and he woke up. So by that time, so thieves immediately came to know, oh, so house owner is waking up. Immediately they hid themselves and they came out. Washerman came out and saw nothing is there. So why this dog is unnecessarily shouting? And he thought that he scolded that, and he went back. And once again, so Steve started so making a hole to the wall, and they started proceeding further. Then immediately donkey seeing, and he started shouting even more loudly, and dog is simply kept quiet actually. Then this time farmer came, and what he thought that I think it needs something, so some chastisement, and like that he is having some big stick actually log there, and he took that and he just gave one shot on the head of the donkey. Donkey. So anyway, the night time, so he left actually. So he gave one shot and he went back, and thieves proceeded and he stolen everything, and they went off. And morning he became early morning, so he saw. So that means he saw that thieves came and they have stolen, and also they came and he came and saw. So donkey died. Donkey also died. So then he understood, oh, this dog is not cooperating, and that's why donkey tried to wake me up, but I gave shot to this. So from this, what you should understand, if you do others dharma, you will get this is the result actually. If donkey is doing the dog's job, then donkey will get this kind of punishment. Of course, good. You may think that it's a good thing actually. It's needed. But if you do others the duty, then you will get this result actually. That's why one should not do vidharmena vidharmacha nivartanam. So you should not do the others' duties. Daiva labdena santosha. So whatever Lord is giving, by that one should become happy. Daivadabde Atmavicharchanam. Atmaviccharanachanam. Atmavit means the knower of the Atma, that is Guru. So one should worship his lotus feet. Purport in this verse, there are many important words which could be very elaborately explained. Prabhupada is saying. So he wants to explain these words very elaborately. Okay, let us see how he is explaining elaborately. Acha, you have a question, my God. Question in the dog. Can you speak in mic? He's having question in the dog or donkey story.
No, we need to have a question.
Yeah.
10-point question for the exam.
Acha.
Second.
Okay, I will not ask any question. Okay, so no need to remember the story. Okay? In this verse, there are many important words which could be very elaborately explained, but we shall briefly discuss the important aspects of each. The final statement is Atmavit Charanachanam. Atmavit means self-realized souls are bona fide spiritual master unless one is self-realized and knows what is relationship with the super soul. He cannot be a bona fide spiritual master. Here it is recommended that one should seek out a bona fide spiritual master and surrender unto him. First point is he is discussing Atmavit Charchanam. That means who is a bona fide spiritual master, who is knowing the self, about the self, and who realizes the self. And next, the first recommendation is Swadharmarchanam. So one also Swadharmarchan. Swadharma Charanam, sorry. Swadharma Charanam, so one should do the Swadharma. As long as we have this material body, there are various duties prescribed for us. Such duties are divided by a system of 4 social orders: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. These particular duties are recommended in Shastra, and particularly in Bhagavad Gita. So Swadharma Charanam means that one must discharge the prescribed duties of his particular division of society faithfully and the best of his ability. So Prabhupada is saying, that's right. What is the important point you want to discuss? He's writing in the first line. There are so many important words are there for him. So what is that important word for him? So that is Swadharma Charanam, following the prescribed duties. Any society means it should be having the four varnas actually, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. If you make only one, any society in the material world, it is a devotional society or non-devotional society. If it should go, it should function properly in this material world, definitely it should have four limbs. If you have, it's not that you are a devotee, you don't need legs, hands, and the belly. You cannot say, I am devotee, I can do everything with my head only. Can you say, I am devotee and I am depending on holy name? What is the need of hands? Cut out. What is the need of the legs? Cut out. Can you say like that? No, actually. So similarly, we are devotees. So even we have the society, if you don't have the four divisions, then what will happen? Nobody will be there to do other duties. Then, so we should suffer actually. If you don't hands, then what will you do? How can you protect this body? What are the first and foremost thing? If anyone attacks on you, what you will do? You'll be stopping. You are opposing the opposite person by the hands. But if hands are not there, hands are cut down, then how can you save this body? It's very difficult or not? Can you save? Let us think that you don't have hands and then someone is trying to attack on this body. So how will you oppose? So it's very difficult actually. Hands are very needed. Similarly, legs also needed to carry this body. Similarly, if you create, that means in the outside society, everyone is becoming Sudra. So then what is going to happen? So there is no intellectual class and there is no protective class. So society will be always in the suffering. Everyone will be trained as a Sudra by going to the modern education, IITs, PhDs, this, that, everything is only they will make modern education for the training up him as a servant actually. They are a servant of the some so-called foolish person. And but if you go for the our society, everyone is Brahmana. First initiation, second initiation, and become Brahmana. And from A to GVC to ABC to GVC, everyone is Brahmana. Then what will happen? Then there is no protective class. If there is any danger is there on the society, then who is protecting? Who is protecting? Where is the protection? Where is our leader then? Then we remember that, oh, Kshatriya is needed. So then there is nobody is going to protect actually this society then people easily attacking on your temples, on your devotees and everything actually. They will be looting away. Because yes, this is a very weak society, weak world. In the society, in the nature, the powerful person always attacks on the weak person. This is the nature of the society actually. So if you are weak, then you cannot survive. They will stop all your activities. They will stop. Why you have to do book distribution on the road? Don't do this. You do in your temple only book distribution. Then why people should go to this temple? No, nobody should. They will put conditions on you. Day by day they will increase, and so you will think that, so we don't need of any this kind of system, and these four varnas we don't need. If you say like this, then what will happen? Then you cannot function in the society. That means being a society, it is also like a body actually. Body means it needs a head, it needs the hands, it needs the legs, no matter of the devotion. So irrespective of devotion, anybody, any organization, anything has to run, it needs to have these four principles. Someone should act as a head, and someone should protect, someone should produce, and someone should serve actually. So like this, every organization, whatever is there in the small unit, Anda, so in Pindanda, that is there in the Brahmanda, whatever is there in the Brahmanda, that is needed in the every Pindanda. Everywhere and every small unit, even in the body, every cell is also like this. Even in our body, each individual cell is like this. If you take one cell, there are the cleaners are there. Someone is producing the energy. Someone is protecting the cell, and someone is guiding all the mechanism there. If you take mitochondria, DNA, RNA, even a single cell is also acting with these four principles actually. It is a basic principles are necessary for survival of any entity in this existence, in this nature. The nature is built like this. You cannot avoid any system actually. You cannot say that it is not meant for this time or that time. You cannot say that actually. Even our body is always needed the protection actually. Whenever there is a virus, something is entering in your body, immediately it will start protecting that your body by creating the antibodies. Even body's mechanism is this. And if you are building a society and if you don't create the protective people, then what will happen? Then people will think very cheaply about this society and nobody will be joining also in future. No protection here actually. And weak people only will be, so they will be definitely feel in protection actually, less no protection here. So then why they will join? In future, what will happen actually? So that's why Prabhupada is saying every society must have these 4 divisions. Every individual society must have these 4 divisions. That's why he's saying Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. So these particular duties are mentioned in the Shastra and particularly in Bhagavad Gita. So what is the main point actually? We are not accepting. So what is we should reject. We should not reject the Varnashram system, but we should reject Varnashram system as a tool to reach the Lord. That is not we are going to accept. We are going to accept the holy name is going to uplift us, not the Varnashrama duties, following the Varnashrama duties and offering the results. And that is not the philosophy we are not going to accept. That is, but for the materially existence, it is needed. It is obviously needed. But we are not trying to satisfy Lord through the following just our duties. But in the Kali Yuga, what we need? So we have to take the shelter of the holy name. But for functioning of the society, you need the principles of Varnashram. Otherwise, you cannot function. So these particular duties are mentioned in the Shastra and particularly in the Bhagavad Gita. Swadharma Charanam means that one must discharge the prescribed duties of his particular division of the society faithful and to the best of his ability. So one should not accept another's duty. If one is born in a particular society or community, he should perform the prescribed duties for that particular division. So how to know the Varna actually? So in this, about this, recently, I'm studying one article actually. It is given in the Sajjana Toshini actually. Srila 2.7, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing. So by following the which rules can Varnashram system can be implemented. So actually Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying how to have the Varnashrama, how to divide the Varnas. He is giving these some 10 points in this Sajjana Toshini. What is that? First one, no one's caste should be ascertained simply by birth. Simply by birth. Only by birth we should not ascertain. Second, a person's caste should be determined according to the nature he develops in the association of the children and by accumulation of knowledge. That means by the knowledge how he will be developing, what kind of character, that we should see. Next, third, at the time of ascertaining a person's caste, one should, along with that person's nature and taste, consider the caste of his parents. So what things we should consider? His nature, his taste, and also parents' caste. 3 things. After a person becomes mature, in other words, when he becomes 15 years old, the family priest, the landlord, the parents, and a few selfless educated people of the village should sit together and determine his caste. Which caste should, that's the 4th point. 5th point is, which caste should a matured person belongs? Such a question should never arise. Rather, the question should be raised whether that mature person is qualified to retain his father's caste or not. So if it is not found that a person is qualified to retain his caste, then appropriate samskara or purificatory rituals should be performed. If it is seen that he is qualified for a higher caste, then his samskara should be performed accordingly. If it is found that he is qualified for the caste lower than that of his father, then he should be given 2 more years. After this additional 2 years, he should be examined again. His caste should be ascertained. So, eighth, every village should have a committee consisting of landlords and the scholars to protect the rules and regulations of the society. Next, 9, the support of the king has to be taken in order to keep these activities going. The king is actually the protector of the principles of Varnashrama. 10th point is, according to one's caste, one's marriage and other activities should be carried out. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is clearly explaining in this how to determine the one's caste. So it's not that it is a very puzzling thing. He's clearly explained this process. There is a committee of the people in the panchayat actually. It is comprised of the committee, comprised of the parents. So also the king of that village or the pratinidhi mukhya. It means pradhan. So main person of that village, and also so the selfless people, and this kind of committee is sitting and so checking whether this person, that means to determine the caste, so nature and also taste and also parents caste, this also should be taken care, and also properly sit these people. And it's not that after 15 years age, whether he is able to retain his father's caste or is more than that or lower than that, that has to be properly examined, and then it has to be decided. And given samskaras should be given like that. Many details can be worked out, but our acharyas gave the very clear directions for us. It's not that this something we are doing new, and they are envisioning the future of the society, how society has to be maintained. Yeah, Jay Gopinath bro.
Who you mentioned the point that these principles should be there.
Yeah.
Whether we name it or we don't name it, the principles anyhow exist and it fall in place. So why then we have to name it?
Because it may not fall actually. So we may neglect. So we now example is, being a society, we need to focus on protecting the devotees, and for that one should be having a proper preparation. So if that is not there, then so just that kind of training should be given. That kind of training should be given to the devotees, how to protect themselves and how to protect the deities, how to protect the temple and how to protect the other devotees. And that aspect is missing. That is a Kshatriya principle. And not only that, we should also have the societies, and in that societies also we need the people who can protect. And also we should produce food grains also ourselves. Other, being a society, it should be self-sufficient. So if it is self-sufficient society, then dependency will not be there in the outside society, so that we can have the more, so our own lifestyle, and we can define our own so rules and regulations, so that it will easily conducive for the practicing more bhakti and easily bhakti. Otherwise our life is controlled by some other people, and if you are dependent on others, main principle is what self-sufficiency is needed in all the aspects. And that's why we need to develop all the angles in with our all the area. We should Krishna consciousness, so should be, that means covering all the areas, so that we can become self-sufficient and become practitioners of our own bhakti. And you are working for livelihood under others outside people, and they will be ruling your day schedule is completely ruled by them, then what will be gaining actually? So how can you control them actually on your life? And being a devotee, you are not only temple devotees, but your donations are dependent on others and their others' mercy, who are not devotees or who are maybe the simply so just some well-wishers. And you dependent on the other society, outside society, which we condemn all the time. They are materialistic people, they are this, that. And then what is going to happen? So your program is, oh no, this time funds are not there. So in Abhishek, we are not going to put so 6 types of the juices, then we'll use only 2. That means your worship is also dependent on others' money and others' mercy, others who are outside. And you cannot control that. That's why previously system temples are not like that. Temples are fully self-sufficient, and Lord's service is not at all is stopped by the anyone actually. They will be having the king is giving the allotting the big piece of the land, and land whatever is coming directly that is going to the service of the Lord. So temples are very well nicely maintained by the kings, and also they are all brahmanas. They are also there is no scarcity for the anything actually, any ingredients to worship the Lord. So like this is actually in the long run, if you think in a big scale, so everyone wants to develop this kind of society or not? Ideal society, that is. So having the all the kinds of the abilities with them. They are self-sufficient in protection. They are self-sufficient in production of the food. They are self-sufficient in their own, that means they have their own knowledge and their own principles. And in all the ways, if we are self-sufficient, then that resembles ideal. That is also preaching actually. One way it is also can act as a preaching activity. And people also will join. Many people get inspiration from this. So that's why it is need to cultivate. If you neglect, that means it will not fall automatically. Actually, nothing will become automatically in this. Everything is having the cause. In this universe, nothing is automatic. This automatic, everything, even a small ant is walking today in this morning, 10 o'clock, this ant is working in this direction only. There is also having the cause. Nothing is random actually in this material universe. So random or automatic is not actually. Everything is having the cause. So similarly, with proper vision, if you don't develop these limbs and if you don't cultivate those things in our society, people, then will be victimized. Time to time will be victimized and will be so suffering again and again. It need to Krishna consciousness also is natural to the Jivatma, then it should not have, it should happen automatically. Why we need to preach? Why? Because Krishna consciousness is natural to the every Jivatma. What is the need of going preaching actually? It should come automatically outside. It is coming? Never actually. We need to preach. We need to guide. We need to train. Because the nature of the society is, so nature of this Prakriti, so Prakriti's property is what? It is always going down towards the lower modes, and it's this actually like how water goes always, so the downward direction. Same way we will be, our consciousness is naturally goes down actually towards the Tamoguna and Rajoguna and Tamoguna. So that's why people has to be so cultivated actually. That's why education. Without education, then what is the role of education in the society? If anything can happen, then why you need books? Automatically, why it will not fall? It will not fall actually. We need to have the education and training. That's why Prabhupada is saying to create the Varnashrama colleges in every temple. That is needed actually for the society, self-sufficient society. Yes.
I don't want to take too much time, but just regarding the 10 points that you read from the article, what is the need if someone is not passing the test and they're given another 2 years? If they are considered to be lower than the caste of the father, then they're given another 2 years.
Yes.
I was just thinking all these points, maybe they were really relevant for the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but nowadays, if we were to operate on these principles, then there will be people who would just, pay the committee and then just make sure that their son is not
bribing,
not getting degraded in their caste, so they stay the same. So it will just open up another avenue for Vaishyas to to get some.
Yeah, my child cannot become Vaishya; he should become Kshatriya. So they may. This implementation also is not so easy actually. But when time comes, Prabhu, this will definitely happen, because now you see many leaders also now with one incident. So Lord's planning also will be there. By one incident, now many are started thinking we need to have the Kshatriya cultivation. Prabhupada said not only Brahmanas, we need to have the Kshatriyas. So many are saying now Kshatriyas we need. Many big leaders So I didn't hear any time anything like that. But so surprisingly, so these kind of things are because need will be created, because it is is natural actually. Having the four varnas is natural for the any society. So if we are missing anything, the result will be coming. Then people will be wake up. So some best is what following the acharya words and immediately doing. Otherwise, nature will teach us. Society will teach us, and then we'll learn. Actually, by the loss, after losing something, then we'll wake up. Oh, ucha, we should not. And after that, sometime we'll be also learning this. Oh my God, if we eat the outside people produced food, then that is more chemicalized, fertilized. So that's why it is spoiling health, and we are not able to practice our devotion, and we are not able to maintain our health. Let us have our own good food so that we can offer to the Lord and take it. So that will also come slowly, because health is going degrading day by day. So then people will be advocating that also. Yes, we need to produce our food, because if we miss anything, immediately that missing point will be creating some kind of problem for us. That's why Lord gave the system for that is suitable for this creation. He created 24 elements. He created these various things, and he created that's natural. That means Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra is also, it is not any kind of so-called unscientific thing. It is a very scientific thing for our body. How we need head, hands, so stomach and the legs. Same way any society means it's needed actually. It's occupational duties. They are not anything something unscientific or unnatural. And so point is what in the Kali Yuga, we don't want to accept that system as a system to worship the Lord. That means that is not the primary system for us. For us, primary system is the holy name, Harinam Sankirtan. But for the for the regular maintenance of the body, that is needed actually. Very much needed. If, however, one is fortunate enough to transcend the designation of birth in a particular society or community by being elevated to that standard of spiritual entity, then his swadharma or duty is solely that, so of serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This swadharma, dharma is two types actually. Dharma based upon the body, dharma based upon the soul. So swadharma can be two types. So according to the modes, every body is not same actually. Your body fitness and your mental fitness and your physical fitness is different from the other side by to you. They are in the different mode, you are in the different mode, and so that you can engage your body into respective activities, so that every activity can be devotionalized. And but for every atma is similar, but bodies are not similar. Bodies are different. So for the atma, that's why we have the one activity. We have only one activity, that is worshipping of the Lord. Serving the Lord is one activity. And for the bodies, we have the categories, because bodies all are built up with the sattva, rajas, tamas. And based upon the sattva, rajas, tamas, we'll be having the various categories, and based upon that, broadly classification, and that duty should be given. Next, as long as one remains advanced in Krishna consciousness is to serve the Lord. As long as one remains in the bodily concept of life, he may act according to the duties of the social convention. But if one is elevated to the spiritual platform, he must simply serve Supreme Lord. That is a real execution of Swadharma. So that's why our philosophy is what? Tyaktva Swadharmam Charanambujam Harer. That means we don't give importance to that. That means it doesn't mean that we don't need any system in our society. We are saying that following the what is that sloka is saying, Tyaktva Swadharmam Charanambujam Harer. It is saying that, so what Vyasdev did in the Mahabharata, he was emphasizing the one's duties and performing his duty and getting the artha, and after that enjoying the sense objects. This process is condemned there actually. So that means they are only focusing, following their dharma and getting the material results and enjoying. This mood is rejected there. It doesn't mean that you should leave the basic functionality of the system. No, that is not the thing actually. Because so bhakti is the highest. That is the point actually we should get. It's not that we should no need that. No need means so you should neglect that. We should not neglect that. We should not. So dharma should not be neglected. So dharma should be accepted, and but bhakti is the primary thing. Bhakti is the foremost, and bhakti should not be covered by the. So one's consciousness should not go higher importance should not be given for this Swadharma. Next, Gramya Dharma Nivrittischa Moksha Dharma Ratistatha Mitamedyadanam Shashvat Vivikta Kshema Sevanam. Translation: one should cease performing conventional religious practices and should be attracted to those which lead to salvation. One should eat very frugally and should always remain secluded so that he can achieve the highest perfection of life. What else? Yama niyamas are explained from here onwards. Various yamas means should be done, and niyamas means should not be done. Rules and prohibitions. Yama niyaman aha tribihi akshara. Tribir aksharadvayadikaihi. Tatra ahimsa. Satyas. So what are that yama? Ahimsa, satyas, satya, satyastheya, parigraha, brahmacharya, maunani yamaha, tad anyani swadharma charanadini nimaha. Okay. So yama niyamas is defined in another place that. So here Gramya means Traivargika Dharma. Gramya Dharma Nivrittischa. That means one should not showing interested in the following the sense. That means Trivarga. Trivarga means Dharma Artha Kama. Earning the money by doing the Dharma to enjoy the sense gratification. So this one should leave. That means moksha dharma ratistata. He should be focused in the fourth one, moksha dharma. He should be interested in the fourth one, moksha, and mita medhyadanam. Mita medhya. So mita medhya means, so adhanam means adhanam means eating actually. So adhanam eating, mita medhyadanam means appropriately yuktahara viharasya, and shashvat vivikta kshema sevanam. So always living secluded place, vivikta. So shashvat vivikta means always living in a secluded place, kshema sevanam, so peaceful. So these are the different yamas and niyamas. Here it is explained. So one should take appropriately, that is a yama, and should also live in the secluded place, becoming peaceful. So that means in the Ashtanga Yoga process, where in the previous chapter also, in the second canto also, you will be seeing yama, niyama, asana, all these are all explained there also. Yes, you remember there, leave the home, and that Sukadeva Goswami in the first chapter he is explaining. So how that means that person should leave the home and he should stay in the holy places, and these are the different yamas and niyamas. So similarly here also Kapila Bhagavan is explaining the various yama niyamas, and purport it is recommended herein that religious practices for economic development for the satisfaction of sense desires should be avoided. That means trivarga. Gramya means trivargaha. That means working for the sense gratification. That is known as trivarga actually. Outside people also they do, and this is known as so trivarga. Religious practices should be executed only to gain the freedom from the clutches of material nature. It is stated in the beginning. That's why every human society is meant for the moksha actually. So they has to work for the liberation. That is the point is mentioned here, not for the sense gratification. So it is stated in the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam that the topmost religious practice is that by which one can attain to the transcendental devotional service to the Lord without reason or cause. Such a religious practice is never hampered by any impediments, and by its performance one actually becomes satisfied. Here this is recommended as moksha dharma, religious practice for salvation, the transcendence of the clutches of material contamination. Generally, people execute religious practices, economic development, or sense gratification, but that is not recommended for one who wants to advance in yoga. So one who wants to yoga, now here we are going to see the, so Bhakti Mr. yoga system. So one should be interested in what? In the moksha, not in the dharma or the kama. That is explained here. The next important phrase is mita medhyadanam. That means, which means that one should eat very frugally. So it is recommended in the Vedic literature that a yogi eat only half what he desires according to his hunger. Only half we should eat. And we eat the, why actually Prabhupada, recently I was hearing one lecture and he's saying, so majority of the time we get diseases because of overeating actually. And our brahmacharis also get sick because of the overeating. Maybe in the, not now, but maybe in the joining of the movement initially, so they ate too much of the things and that disturbed the bodily basics function, and then they will be getting the continuous problems. Prabhupada is saying that so eating more is good or eating less is good. So if someone is not able to determine, that means his half of his hunger, then in that case he should eat little bit more or little bit less. He is saying that better to eat less so that no diseases, but don't eat more. So if we eat more, then more diseases will be getting. By eating more, you will be getting the diabetes. He's explaining in that lecture also is saying one will be getting the diabetes. And if you eat less, you'll be getting the tuberculosis. These are the two problems. So then he's saying that better to eat less. After that, he's saying this. Yeah. Nobody is dying by starving. This is also. So that is the main principle. We forget actually how many feasts are happening in a month. We don't have count. Okay, Pitru Paksha, and people are giving for this Shraddha and eating. People are giving just to give their karma to you, and after that we should do prayaschitta. We should do more rounds because you are eating their karma and you have to destroy that. They are not at all devotees, just they are giving to you, so that you should take their karma. And you forgot you are struggling and doing 16 rounds with difficulty and eating their food. We should actually also careful about how many feasts are happening in a month, and now so that will be also important. Then you regularly eating, then will be falling sick. So yogi, and also I heard some modern science also nowadays they are thinking, if you eat for whatever required for your day, for your maintenance of your day, so in the short frame of time, it is more good actually. Intermittent fasting, that is very important. That means many times we think that the gases are formed and health will be destroyed, but actually now scientists are saying that, doctors, if the eating frame is short, then it is more actually conducive for your health. So now we are eating morning 9 o'clock and also evening 4 o'clock. So that means our frame of eating is 9 to 4. This is the frame. So if you reduce this to the 1 hour, whatever you need for your body for whole day, if you eat in only 1 hour, in that 1 hour period of time, then it will be nice actually. Yeah, total not 1 hour. So whatever you need in that 1 hour, you finish, and then after that, don't think actually, forget about giving anything to the body and keep on working. So then it will be more conducive. Actually, there modern science previously even in the, and also we should not eat till 12 o'clock. I practiced 3 years. I was eating only one time, and that too after 12 o'clock, 12:30. This is the regular practice in Benares. All the most of the traditional Brahmanas, they will be eating after 12 o'clock. And eating before 12 is not good for the health. And this I practice. This much I can assure actually. And I didn't get any health problem because I was forced to do that. But people also, they follow naturally in that Benares actually. Because of this, some studies work and this and that, I was not having the time to prepare and eating every day at one time. Only one time. Like 3 years I did like that. Only one time. Nothing. No health problem actually. And every day doing the physical exercise is very important actually. Every day I used to go on bicycle by more than 25 to 30 kilometers. Every day 30 kilometers. Different 5, 6 houses of the teachers I used to travel. So it's 5 kilometers there and there to 5 kilometers and 5 kilometers like that. Morning, so 7:30 I start my journey for going to the houses to learn this Sanskrit, various books. More than 40 teachers I was having in Benares. 40 teachers, so more than that. So learning this Nyaya, Mimamsa, Vedanta, Vyakaran, Kavya, Amarakosha, so Dharma Shastras, Bhagavatam, and many things actually, Sandarbhas, different, all these. And like this, so morning 7:30 I start and I end by 12:30. First frame, that is. After that, taking food, and 1.5 hour I will take rest. And once again start 2 o'clock to night 10 o'clock. Going to, because traveling lot of, so place, that means we very far places. And you have to go to this direction. Then after next class, next teachers will be saying that you come in this time only, then we should go to that teacher's house. So like that, there is a, so Vidyarthi means what? Is a beggar. So like going to every house, where like how beggars they collect their livelihood. Vidyarthi means, so student. Vidyarthi means he's a beggar from the teacher. So you should go to the teacher's houses and beg the knowledge. This is the generally usually happens. And there's a system also. And teachers, they will be having their house and they will be teaching, and in their house whatever amount of time they have. And sometimes they don't teach, they may teach, they may not teach. They say that, okay, better today, so I'm having some other work, you go, tomorrow you come. And it's not that they no schedule, nothing. Whenever they call, beggar means what? You are a beggar. Your student is a beggar actually. When it's not that you cannot demand that you should give this only, I will do this only, I will do that only. No, whatever he says, you should follow. Whenever time, whatever time he calls, you should go. So this is actually the system. Traditional system is also is like this only. It's not that this is I want, that only I want, this much time only I will be sitting. This is no actually. This is actually student. The student qualities are going out actually. This will lead to there is no quality of the student. Student who is not a student, apparently he is a student, but inside he is not student. Then he will not learn any real thing. A real knowledge will not come actually. So Tadvidhi Pranipatena Paraprasyan, this is also is missing. So just nowadays is the system, and it's like Western style of systems. So teacher is forced to teach, and student is having the high command on the teacher. Student dictates to teacher, I want this, I don't want that. And you should teach me this only. And that is not the system actually. So like this, anyway, one has to eat appropriately. That means half his hunger. If one is so hungry that he could devour 1 pound of foodstuffs, then instead of eating 1 pound, he should consume only 1/2 of pound and supplement this with 4 ounces of water. So if you have hunger which needs 1 pound of food, then you take only half of that and get up. Don't eat the till Alpahari. Vidyarthi means Alpahari. Vidyarthi means student, means he should definitely eat less actually in the student life. So then he will be, his Chetana will be very strong. His otherwise whole body eating more and always it demands the sleep. And less eating less also is dangerous actually. So very less, too much less actually. Too much less is also not good. So like this, one has to measurement. That's why measurements also given. Na? Eat less or more, you can understand from the. So here, 1/4 of the stomach should be left empty for passage of air in the stomach. That means half food, half half water. Sorry, half food, 1/4 water, 1/4 air. Then that will be properly digestion. That means 1 pound means how many ounces? 16 ounces. Na? So 16 or 8 ounces. Jai Gopinath Prabhu, yes. Yes, Prabhu.
But our courses and our education system is also now becoming more like the Western culture,
Yes,
even within our own society.
yes.
So how to?
Yeah, Prabhu. That's why we are not able to implement those things. We tried actually something in the on-site. Students will be coming and learning freely and serving something and some extent actually. So something is better than nothing. And also practically there is no such a kings are not there to maintain the teachers. So that's why we opened online option, mainly we opened online option to maintain on-site students. That's the reason actually, because on-site students are maintained by the online students. Online students, they are giving some help for us. That is the thing. That's why I started this option because there is no direct encouragement. So ISKCON, it's not that the students are coming from many places, but so leaders are not ready to invest their energy in education and training. And they are very much busy in the developing the temples and constructions and many things. It's not that this institute is and these teachers are there, institute is there. So of course we are new, they cannot also trust us. So that's why initially struggle will be there. Maybe their soft corner will be there in the future. So it may be in future we may get. But the point is what I want to say. So previously kings were maintained by the teachers. Kings were maintaining the teachers, and that's why even in the Benares also, students, they don't give any money, because there is system is what most of they have two universities. One is Sampurnananda, another is Benares in the university. In that university, every professor, that means Brahmanas, and they are all professors there. They get more than 2 lakhs every month, and that means in that way, that means government is maintaining them, and they don't dependent on anything actually from the student. And student, whatever they give, sometimes we get this some dakshina somewhere. So if you take some sweets to them, they may accept that. That's all. On the Guru Purnima day, we will be doing this some satkara to them. That much only. That's all. Otherwise, they don't depend on. So like that, actually, if that is there, then we can easily implement system. So you are asking questions. So what is that? So because so that system is not there with us. Our temples are struggling to maintain themselves. Then how they will maintain us? How they will maintain us actually? They don't have enough money. They will simply say one thing: we don't have enough money for us to do the basic service of the deities. We are begging every month, and how we can give to you? And that's why institutes like this cannot be survived in a basic standard principle. But education is more necessary, should be given at least something, some hybrid systems we are taking now, hybrid mixed. So that at least something we can push, because we may not doing the absolutely perfect way, but at least something we are trying to do. So slowly by the due course of the time, maybe if society recognizes and the importance of the education and the institute, so that because even in the olden days there are the big Mahavidyalaya, Vishwavidyalayas, like Even in the Chanakya's time, he was having the Nalanda universities, and also there is in the Afghanistan, what is that? Takshashila. And those are all big universities are maintained by the kings thousands of years back also. Even Sankaracharya, Ramanuja, they created, Madhva created the 8 months. They are all the educational centers, those are all. Where the people used to come and learn the education systems. So those are all maintained. They are all having a lot of land. Kings gave the land to them. So that kind of education should be encouraged, then it can be done something. All the Brahmana teachers are maintained by those land though. And students also go for begging and they will bring the alms, and so that teacher will be, so is maintained by like that also. Something is better than nothing, because now everything is corrupted. When you revert it back, you cannot do everything absolutely. Transition period, so you'll be doing as much as possible, but intention should be there. Try to, as much as possible, try to become more and more standard. Try to increase the standards. So yogi should eat in this way as recommended in the Srimad Bhagavatam and all other standard scriptures. Yogi should live in a secluded place where his yoga practice will not be disturbed. So next, ahimsa satyam asteyam yavadartha parigraha brahmacharyam tapashaucham swadhyaya purusharchanam. So translation: one should practice non-violence and truthfulness, should avoid thieving, and be satisfied with possessing as much as he needs for his maintenance. He should abstain from sex life, perform austerity, be clean, study the Vedas, and worship the supreme form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So these are the various yama niyamas here also explained. यावदर्थः प्रयोजन तावन मात्रस्य न तो अधिकस्य वस्तुनः परिग्रहः. You should accept those many objects which are required for your sustenance, not more than that. Gathering more things is also very difficult. Okay, purport. The word Purusharchanam in this verse means worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, especially the form of the Lord Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed by the Arjuna that Krishna is the original Purusha, the personality of Godhead, Purusha Shashvatam. Therefore, in yoga practice, one not only must concentrate his mind on the person Krishna, but must also worship the form or deity of Krishna daily. Purusharchanam, Prabhupada is taking from this. Not only just meditation, but Archanam is also said. That's why it is Bhakti Misra Yoga. But why in the Bhagavatam Bhakti Misra Yoga, Bhakti Misra Jnana, Bhakti Misra Karma, all are explained? Or Karma Misra Bhakti, Karma Misra Jnana? Because the reason is what we read in the Bhagavatam. So why? So Vasudev, why he wrote this kind of topics? Why he compiled the Bhagavatam book? Why he not mentioned only the pure devotional service? It's because everything is in the hand of Vasudev. He should take from that 100 crores of slokas are there, total Puranas. From that, he should take only those slokas which are telling the pure devotional service. He said already Dharma Projita Kaitavotra, but still we are here seeing in the previous chapter Jnana, Bhakti Misra Jnana. Here we are seeing the Bhakti Misra Yoga. And also we are seeing the Karma Misra Bhagnanam, Karma Misra Bhakti, also Jnana Misra Bhakti. Why these Misras are there? Yes, Jai Gopinath Prabhu. He could have explained only pure devotional service.
Sir, this was raised earlier when I asked the question.
Prabhu?
I haven't lowered the hand. Sorry.
Okay, previously raised. Anyone is going to answer this question? Why this kind of bhakti is explained in this? Yes. Rangmay Prabhu is going to crack this.
Maybe many people are not qualified for direct devotion.
Okay.
So that's why Srila Vyasadeva, their purpose, they explain some Karma Misra Yoga, Bhakti Misra Yoga, Bhakti Misra Jnana, something.
Okay. Anyone wants to say the answer? Recently we discussed in the Bhakti Sandarbha. Very recently we discussed. It's not a new point.
To prove that all this Jnana Marga, Yoga Marga, and this Dhyana Marga, they cannot get success without assistance from Bhakti. Second, to develop a taste in that practitioner, gradually in the path of Bhakti Yoga also.
Yeah, Jai Gopinath Prabhu. Yeah, you also say, yes, Prabhu, your point is valid. Jai Gopinath Prabhu.
Here it is explained, Prabhu, to understand what is pure bhakti and properly have the discrimination, who is doing what and where we are and how we have to progress. If you don't know, then sometimes we may get stuck somewhere else and we think that we are doing pure devotion, and then we will be stuck over there.
Good point. And anything? Yeah, our Akshay Hari Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Oh, there were many sages in Naimisharanya who were following different paths.
Yeah.
To establish bhakti, Vyasadeva tells about different paths and he established bhakti over those paths.
Okay, that means he is showing the differences that you are saying.
Yeah, showing the differences and establishing the supremacy of bhakti.
Yeah, that is true. So, anyway, you are all adding the good points. So, there, Srila Jiva Goswami is saying in that. So, like our Akiji Krishna Prabhu said. So, because Mishra Bhakti is also explained in this Srimad Bhagavatam. So, but that is not the conclusion of the Srimad Bhagavatam, but that is not the interest. So, that is not the Vasudeva's interest. So, that means promoting the Mishra Bhakti. So, why he explained this there? Srila Jiva Goswami is writing in the Bhakti Sandarbha. The reason is to, because everyone, yes, is not able to follow the pure devotional service. They are interested in the karma, jnana and yoga. So instead of encouraging them to do purely karma, jnana and yoga, so if they are encouraged to do that, then what will happen? Then they will be not doing any devotion and they don't taste the devotional service. So that's better to give some taste for them in the devotion. So that's why Mishra Bhakti is explained here. So that they will be getting the taste of the bhakti. When they do the Mishra Bhakti, they will be getting the taste of the bhakti, and in the long run they can become pure devotees. With this intention, Srila Vasudeva so explained here in this Srimad Bhagavatam, Mishra Bhakti is also. That is actually we discussed this. Jiva Goswami is writing. So, but we should not bewilder by this. Oh, we should do the Archana, and also along with this, we should do this secluded place. And now leave me this place and go to the forest. It's not the thing actually. And this is a Bhakti Mishra Yoga is being explained. So that's why you should see the topic, what is going on, and to whom this is instructed, that we should see. And in the what should be done in the pure devotional service and what these people are doing, that we should carefully understand time to time. But of course, Prabhupada is irrespective of any Mishra Bhakti, he is always stamping there, or he is always promoting so in his purports the Bhakti here is saying that, so Purusham Archanam means, so here he is clearly saying that Krishna. Purusha means actually Paramatma is also known as Purusha. Of course, irrespective, there is maybe intention of the speaker is Paramatma, but he will be, so ultimate Purusha is only Krishna, that's why Krishna should be worshipped. That means he takes every chance. He never mind. That means whether I am properly justifying the here Bhakti Mishra Yoga or not, he never cares. That means his goal is every corner and every sloka, how I can promote the Krishna Bhakti. That is the view of this Srila Prabhupada actually. This beauty of this. It's not a demerit actually. You cannot say that it's a demerit. It is a merit only, because in the Kali Yuga, so who is going to understand this much, and also present situation? He knows the present situation of the society. Here now the people are more engrossed in the materially engrossed. They are material life. They are most of the atheists, and they are not stuck in the Mr. Bhakti now. And now they are stuck in the Mr. Bhakti, and now we should elevate them from that Mr. Bhakti by explaining. That is not the goal. That is, what is present situation is? Present situation, people are fully in the materially engrossed, and their consciousness is material consciousness. And now that's why he attacks that material consciousness, and he directly gives the Krishna Bhakti. And in between, whatever is there, that Mr. Bhakti is this never care. Because that is needed now for the present society. Because Acharya, what he does, of course, Bhagavad is complete, but Acharya always comes and what we need now for the society, that much only he will be speaking from this. That is more appropriate. And now people, that means, oh, Gnana Mr. Bhakti is this and this. So, simply he is promoting to the superior devotional service, worship Krishna. That is a tactic actually. It's a kind of a practical approach. It doesn't mean that he doesn't know. He knows all the details. But what is required, that only he is projecting. So a brahmachari practices celibacy, controlling his sex life. One cannot enjoy unrestricted sex life and practice yoga. One cannot enjoy unrestricted sex life and practice yoga. This is rascaldom. So-called yogis advertise that one can go on enjoying as one likes and simultaneously become a yogi. You know how he is this? Sambhog se samadhi. You just practice more and more sex life and you can become a strong yogi. That is their philosophy actually. If you are able to do 3 hours of sex life, 3 hours you are able to do, then you are in the samadhi. You are perfect. So, and also there are so many rascal concepts actually in that. We are unnecessarily, we should not put the foundation of you are male and female, these rules, and these are all rules are made by some so-called coward people. They made these scriptures and these rules, male, female, they should not have the sex life freely. So these are all actually why someone has to rule you. Whatever you feel in your body naturally you should do, and you should search real happiness there. Something actually bogus philosophy. If you hear it, it's really a nonsense. And but new person whoever hears, immediately he will be, oh, this is the truth. And also it is more conducive, more attractive. So-called yogis advertise that one can go on enjoying one's like and simultaneously become a yogi. This is totally unauthorized. It is clearly explained here that one must observe celibacy. Brahmacharya means that one leads his life simply in relationship with Brahman or in full of Krishna consciousness. Those who are too addicted to sex life cannot observe the regulations which will lead them to Krishna consciousness. So sex life should be restricted to persons who are married. A person whose sex life is restricted in marriage is also called a brahmachari. So the word astheyam is also very important. All you know these things. And Swadhyaya, reading the authorized Vedic scriptures. Even if one is not Krishna conscious and is practicing yoga, he must read the standard Vedic literature. So Narottam Das Thakur, a great devotee and Acharya in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, says that all spiritual activities should be understood from 3 sources, namely saintly persons, standard scriptures, and a spiritual master. These 3 guides are very important to progress in the spiritual life. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Next. Maunam Ayaspo. Mike.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Probably just the question which often arrives about Varnashrama.
Yeah.
Since we discussed that now.
Yeah.
People say, so if Varnashrama is such a powerful and, developed ideal system for human beings to survive, to live, to cooperate, and if it used to exist in Bharatvarsha, So how come it degraded that it became a caste system? And
Yeah.
so how if we want to put so much effort to establish Varnashrama again, what is the
Yes.
what is the chance that it will not degrade again?
Yeah. Good question. So how the Varnashram system is degraded? Because the anything is, so Anvikshiki Trayi Varta Dandaniti. Education is 4 divisions. It is divided into 4 divisions. So Trayi means Vedic education, Vedas, that means learning the 3 Vedas and rituals, mantras, those especially meant for the Brahmanas. So Varta is meant for the Vaishyas. So next Dandaniti is meant for the Kshatriyas. And Sudras, they are cooperating all these 3 Varnas. And Anvikshiki, it is a spiritual education. It is meant for the everyone. So what is the missing point actually? Why the system is degraded? It is a powerful system, but why it is degraded? Because our body is powerful, but we get the diseases. In this nature, anything is can be having a, so because it is not absolute. That means it is not absolute means it is also Varnashram system is comprised in the modes. So in the due course of the time, so this system is also degrading. That's obvious. And in present situation, how it is, because of they are not keeping the anvikshiki, that means spiritual education is not proper actually. People just come to the material level and they started dominating. Initially, Brahmanas dominated. By seeing this, Kshatriyas became very worried because Brahmanas are just for self gratification, they are misinterpreting the Vedic injunctions. Instead of teaching the major values of the prime value of the Varna, that means scriptures is Vasudeva Para Vedaha. Instead of following the essential principle, they utilized these things actually for this Varna, this their position. They utilize their position for the sense gratification. They started misguiding the kings. They are saying that, oh, this is going to happen and you people has to pay this much and you do this vrata, that vrata. Like that, they are fully controlled by, they control fully Kshatriyas. And then what happened? Kshatriyas became, that means very aggressive for this. Then they started rejecting this domination by the Brahmanas, and this happened from the many thousands of years back. Is keep on happening like this. So then domination, they saw the Brahmanas domination, and then Kshatriyas thought that we should not be controlled because we are the owners of the land. We are the owner of everything. And why we have to follow them? They has to follow us. And Kshatriyas became aggressive and they started leaving the good instructions are, that means some Brahmanas made it mistake and then they started violating the rules and regulations given by these Brahmanas, and they started not cooperating with the Gurukuls and something. So these Brahmanical activities, so they became more atheistic actually. Then after that, Kshatriyas, they became powerful for some period of time. Then after that, Kshatriyas were dominated then by the Vaishyas. Then Vaishyas came into the prominence, and they thought that, so everything we are paying, tax is paid by us, because Pharma Vaishyas means go Krushi Vanijam Go Raksha. We are paying. Who are these Kshatriyas? Who are these Kshatriyas? Who are these? From where they came? Everything we are maintaining, and we should be the leaders of that. We are self-sufficient. Why we have to give? Why we have to cooperate with these Kshatriyas? And that's why then, so Vaishyas era came. Vaishyas became more powerful for some period of time in this history. If you see that exact the marks, I don't know, but you can see maybe some Bhakti Aloka or some other books actually. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioning all these. Then after that, Vaishyas domination was going on. Then Shudras are thinking that, Arey, we are doing hard work and we are cultivating land and we are producing the food grains. And who are he? These people are thinking that we are the owners of the. What is this? Sudras. This is the time for Sudras now. So, huh? Yeah. So like this, they forgot that the essential principle is serving the Lord. So this main Anvikshiki, that is the, so Krishna consciousness is missing actually. That's why system is gone. It will happen. If you create with the hard work, we may not create in one life, maybe many generations it may take. So it's not our goal. We need some principles of the system. So we take and use, and slowly, slowly it may develop, evolve. And for due course of time, it will be developing and it is also falling. It's like a bell curve. So it takes some time to reach the peak. Then after that, it will fall down. Any system goes like this only. It's obvious actually. So even also domination, India was dominating. Then after that, Europe. After that, if you see the history, initially India is very powerful. Everything is going from here. And a lot of that means technologies are there, village technologies, so powerful technologies. Such a cloth was in India few hundreds of years before. There's a silk is there in India, and also various spices and many actually going from India. And that silk sari they used to wave, and that can come in a small matchbox. That much fine work they were doing actually. And you see the sculptures and you see the constructions. So nowhere you can find in the world this kind of temples construction and big so the ports. But India domination gone. Then it went to the once again to the Europeans. Europeans dominated. Our Greek culture came and these people became prominent. Then after that, that is gone, and then it America, Britishers they took even in the Europe, and they ruled for some time. Then after that, Americans they took. Yes, now we are the powerful. So before that, America, what is there? Nothing is there. So Britishers only. So some people they went there and they became, that means resources are there and they became now. So Americans out, and then whoever is ruling, so they are bringing their own culture in the whole world. So now America is the what is that liberalism, and they don't want to, and they are very, that means Americans, they don't want any, they want freedom actually. What is the main hot cake for them? Freedom. And they don't want to, so dictated by anyone actually. That is the core principle. Now, what is propagated in the whole teachings everywhere, internets, in the whole trend in India also, break the rules. We are not bounded by any rules. We want freedom. Youth, you should get freedom. Like this is the thing is going on. That means whoever is dominating in the society, that means that person's culture will be spreading in the entire society, entire world. This will happen actually. And before that also, if you see even the colonization at that time, Britishers, they spreaded their English everywhere, their culture. They brought their religion everywhere in every country. Why Christianity became such a prominent? Because they are ruling. They ruled the whole world, and they brought this culture of the now. Seeing the whole, the effect is there. So why Chanakya was opposing to enter this Alexander into India? Because whoever is the king, his culture will be there. And also, if you see in India, there are so many attacks. So then Mughals were attacked, then whole this, so this culture they brought, Muslim culture. Then after Britishers, they came, they brought this Christians and this religion and their culture also. Religion change means culture also will change. Religion only is the core thing which also develop, which is the cause for the culture. If you are now Krishna conscious religion you are following, and because of this, your culture is also changing. So that means after going to the toilet, so bathing, this is the one culture one. We have this cultural aspect. This is out of the religion actually. This is our practice, spiritual practice. So that's why whoever is ruling, and their culture will be there, and whoever is in the power, their thoughts only will be followed by the whole society. Prabhupada is saying also. So that's why our devotees should enter into even the politics. And Krishna consciousness, Vaishnavism, Vaishnava should be the rulers. Then Vaishnavism will be there. So this is now we are begging people to follow. Then after that, you can dictate the people to follow. That can be also done. So this way, this keep on changing. Change, that means power. And also power is changing from place to place. Power is also changing from Varna to Varna. So another Varna, they will become strong in the society. But only thing is, ultimately this will be there. This is natural in the society. We should try to follow the strictly. That means that's why it's very difficult to come out from this material world. So we are all affected by these modes. And that's why we should try to promote the standard thing as much as possible. Next, Maunam Sada Sanajayah Stairyam Pranajaya Shanaihi Pratyaraschendriyanam Vishayan Manasahrudi. Translation: one must observe silence, acquire the steadiness by practicing different yogic postures, control the breathing of the vital air, withdraw the senses from the sense objects, and thus concentrate the mind on the heart. Really, we are going very slow. Raise the speed. Okay. So now what he's saying, few more things he's asking to, Kapila Bhagavan is asking to yogi to practice. Maunam Sada Asana Jayaha. Asana Jayaha means conquering the sitting posture. We will be sitting 5 minutes. This side. We are sitting in the 10 minutes. We are sitting. This, because we are not able to conquer our sitting position, pushing posture actually. We are not able to sit steadily in one posture for half an hour. That means we are not able to conquer our sitting asana actually. That will, what will happen then? You cannot focus on the thing what you want. Your mind cannot be focused. Yeah. Lying asana also they cannot sit straight. Going here and there. So that's why it is yogis, it is very much needed. If devotees are if able to do that, then you can sit peacefully and chant 1 hour without any deviation. So nicely hear the holy name. It's good now actually. If you have good health and you are able to sit, you are able to train your body so nicely, then you can, it is beneficial only. Anything beneficial to devotional life, why don't we accept? Take it. It's not the necessary rule for the bhakti, even in the case of bhakti, but in the case of yoga, it is necessary. It's must actually. But in the case of it's not necessary, but if one is having this is good. Otherwise, it's, so Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. How does it? So Hare Krishna Ram Ram, Ram Krishna Ram Ram, Hare Krishna. What is he chanting? Nothing. No. He doesn't know himself. Sometimes Ram 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 Hare Hare. Because some people 3, 4 times, 5 times, many times I see actually. Even in my case also, devotees actually we say that we are chanting, but if you record it and hear this 1 hour, 2 hour, you'll be seeing thousands of mistakes in that. Even a single mantra is uttered properly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That kind of, we don't have determination actually even for the doing the japa. That is our main limb of the sadhana. So in that we can see the very lack of interest and lack of determination and lack of concentration in that. So that means every day we study. That means one should chant the holy name. That means with that means what is that last finally instruction? Dhyan purvak jap karna actually. If you do, it is also offensive. So doing the japa without concentration, without proper concentration. So without, if one, it is, that means one should do with concentration. That also we are not able to do. Yeah. Because nidra, all the time, nidra, this sleep. Why sleep comes? Sleep is a function of whose function sleep is? Vritti of intelligence actually. So when your intelligence is clear, is determined. Determination comes from where? Determination, determining. Yes, this. When your intelligence is very strong actually, and you determine now, that means then you can easily stop the sleep also. Otherwise, you are not resolute. That is resolute. We say resolute. That means you are resolved for this. Yes. That means you are clearly, yes, now this time is for the chanting. I have to do this only. No need of other things. That kind of things And also, I want Krishna consciousness in bhakti process. Hearing and chanting is only the ultimate thing, and I have to hear. This kind of strong intelligence is not there actually. Then you will be thinking, theek hai, kar lenge. Okay, we'll do that. Anyway, we are staying in the ashram, 16 rounds should be done. At least in front of everyone, 16 rounds. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram. But there is a resolution. Resolute. It's not he's not resolute in that. Because he's a determination. Then you'll be getting sleep. Actually, that's why you need strong, clear, that means convinced for that. You are not convinced for that. That means if something you're fully convinced, then you will not sleep actually. Someone is throwing the gold biscuits there, then you will be feeling any sleep there? No, you are very excited to catch those and with full concentration. Because you know that is very useful for life. You are clear in that point. But of course, body should be given proper rest, and then after that, we should also have this thing. Then you will not get any sleep. Then you can fix clearly, you can do the chanting and with focused. Then that will help us. Why we study this? Because our intelligence will be purified. We'll understand the importance of Krishna consciousness clearly. And then we can practice our sadhana very strongly and very focusedly. So that will lead us to progress in our life. So the yogic practices in general and Hatha Yoga in particularly are not ends in themselves. They are means to the end of attaining steadiness. First, one must to sit properly, and then mind and attention will become steadily enough for practicing yoga. So you might have observed, if you sit like this, when your spinal cord is bending, it is easy, immediately your mind will be going somewhere and feeling sleepy. When your spinal cord is very straight actually, and you will never feel sleep. This is my observation actually. When you sit in this very steadily, previously in the Gurukula also, students all are, all are, that means asked to sit straightly. And we have many problems, health problems, this, that, and less improper food, improper health, and finally, not caring body nicely. We are also, in our society, we are not giving the good importance to the health also. Health care is not there. So because of not having the proper understanding on health, then what is happening? So that is affecting our sadhana or not? Improper health will be definitely affect the sadhana. Of course, health is not an important thing, but if you don't consider that aspect, so who will be the loser? Who will be the loser? So next, and with such a control, he will be able to withdraw the senses from the sense of. So in the previous verse, it is stated that one must observe celibacy. So the most important aspect of sense control is controlling sex life. That is called brahmacharya. By practicing the different sitting postures and controlling the vital air, one can control and restrain the senses from the unrestricted sense enjoyment. This is needed actually. And also breathing. Breathing is also very important thing, which will actually mind, air, senses. These are all having the interconnections. So that means if you control the breathing, so that it will be helping your senses to be controlled, mind can easily control the senses. So this kind of things that means through the mind, senses can be easily controlled. So those, for a devotion anyway, definitely is not needed, but devotee also is not so ignorant. Devotee means is the most intelligent than yogis also. They are not directly rules for the devotion, but if something is useful and important, and why don't you accept that? Swadishñanam ekadeshe manasa pranadharanam Vaikunta Leela Vidhyanam Samadhanam Tathatmana. Translation: fixing the vital air and the mind in one of the 6 circles of vital air circulation within the body, Thus, concentrating one's mind on the transcendental fastness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called the samadhi or samadhana of the mind. Samadhi or samadhana. Samadhana means what? Fixing the mind. Atmanah manasaha samadhanam. Fixing the mind is known as samadhi. So, in the fifth sloka, asana is said. That means asana jayaha. And in the next sixth is dharana. Prana dharanam. Prana dharanam. So, various limbs of the Ashtanga Yoga is explained here in all these slokas. In commentary, he didn't write exactly what limb is explained in which sloka, but in generally just he is saying. So, Swadhishnya means pranasthanana mooladharadinam madhye ekasmin deshe manasa saha pranasya dharanam dharana leela dhyanam. Leela sahita pada avayava dhyanam. So manasaha samadhanam. Samadhi atma karata. So what he has to do? Then sitting posture, controlling the senses. And then he will be sitting, he is going to dharana. Dharana means what? So life air is fixed in these chakras, one of these chakras. And then he is be thinking the leelas of the Lord. Those will be coming in the next slokas. So there are 6 circles of vital air circulation within the body. The first circle is within the belly. The second circle is within the area of the heart. The third is in the area of the lungs, and fourth is in the palate. The fifth is in between the eyebrows, and the highest, the sixth circle is above the brain. One has to fix his mind on circulations of the vital air and thus think of the transcendental fastness of the Lord. So fixing air in the what has to fix his mind, the circulations of the vital air. And thus, these are all yoga techniques. These are all explained in the Ashtanga Yoga Sutras in more elaborately. And also the process, how to do. This I don't know much. And I cannot explain also further. So it is now, that means how prana is having connection with the mind, and what are these chakras, and how they are having the effect on the focusing the mind. Those details are in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. So I don't know much about this science, these basics actually. Every Bhagavatam reader, if he knows, that is good actually. That's why. So 6 philosophies are useful actually to understand these slokas very clearly. Next, transcendental activities. Where is the scope for this pastimes? It is through the process of devotional service, chanting and hearing of the sense of the Supreme Lord that one can achieve this concentration. In the case of devotees, chanting is going to do that. Yetairanyaischa patibir mano drashtuma satpatam buddhya injeta shanakair jeta prano hyatandritaha. Translation: by this process or any other true process, one must control the contaminated, unbridled mind, which is always attracted by material enjoyment, and thus fix himself in thought of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now dharana process is going. So next, what it is said here. So one has to fix on the next going to dhyana. Dhyane yojayet. 6th sloka is telling about the dharana and also other things. And 5th is telling asana pratyahara. So in the 5th sloka, you say asana jayaha, that is asan, and next pratyahara. So prana jayaha means pranayam. Next pratyahara means controlling the senses. In the 5th sloka, 3 things are explained: pranayam, pratyahara. 6th sloka is telling about the dharana. Okay. 7th sloka is telling about what? Dhyana. Okay. Etaranyesha padivir mano drashtum asat. And before that, Yama Nima explained in the 3 and 4. Ahimsa, Satyam, Asteyam, Yavadartha Parigraha, Brahmacharya. These are all the Yamas and Niyamas. In third also, Gramya Vritti, Moksha Dharmaha. So Mitam, Medhyadanam. These are all rules and do's and don'ts. Okay. So now 7th is Dhyana is explained. Dhyane yojayet. Yunjita means dhyane yojayet. So, etaihi anyaischa, that means the general yoga process entails observing the rules and regulations, practicing different sitting postures, concentrating the mind on the vital circulations of the air, thinking of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his Vaikuntha pastimes. This is the general process of yoga. This same concentration can be achieved by other recommended processes, and thus, therefore, anyaischa, other methods also can be applied. Anyaischa, that means he is explaining in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th is this Ashtanga process, this Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dhyana, Dharana, and Dhyana. And one can reach to meditating on the Vishnu through other processes also. So he's saying Anyaischa. Kapila Bhagavan is saying there are other systems also there like this. Okay, the essential point that the mind, which is contaminated by the material attraction, has to be bridled and concentrated on the Supreme Form. That is Dhyana. One should reach to the stage of Dhyana. That is a point. So contaminated mind should be purified, and so it should be fixed on the Lord. That is the Dhyana that is explained. Now next, 8th. Shuchau deshe pratisthapya vijitasana asanam tasmin swasti samasina rujukaya samabhyaset. So after controlling one's mind and sitting postures, one should spread a seat in a secluded and sanctified place. Sit there in an easy posture, keeping the body erect, and practice breath control. So asanadhini vivrunoti. So till now, actually, in the till now 7 sloka, in brief it is said. That means asana jaiha, prana jaiha, pratyaharaha, dharana, dhyana. This in brief it is said. Now it is being explained. So individually. Now asanas are explaining. So how to asana jaiha is said in the 5th sloka. But how to, what is that asana? How it should be, that is elaborated here. Vivrunoti means it is explained, mentioned in the 5th sloka, but elaboration is done. So that means Kapila Bhagavan is saying third and 4th, he is explaining the Yamanima, but in the 5th and 6th and 7th, he is saying the to fix the mind. So he is asking to do so asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, and dhyana. He mentioned only these points, but elaboration is going to be, he is going to do now in this sloka. Actually, in the 8th sloka, we are seeing asanadini vivrunoti. How to do asana? Asanam kushajina chaila chotaram tasmin swastikam swastyeva yatha syad evam asinaha. So here in this 8th sloka, asana, after controlling one's mind and sitting posture, one should spread the seat in a secluded and sanctified place. Sit there in an easy posture, keeping the body erected. Actually, here in the translation, what is written? After controlling one's mind, sitting postures. This is a, people may think that once reaching the dhyana and why once again coming back to the asana. It looks like that, na? This translation is looking. So, but here that is not the meaning. Actually, in the sloka, it is not like that. That means after fixing the mind, then you should go for the asana. It's not like that actually. But anyway, it is written here. But here simply asana is explained, that's all. You're understanding what I am saying, everyone? Uru jangantaradhaya padagre janu madhyage yogina yadavasthana swastikam tad viduhu buddhaha. So that means once it keeping he's placing the foot of one leg on the thigh of the another. Asana. So this has to put on this, and this leg should be put on this thigh. Then you can sit straightly. Otherwise, if you sit normal way, you cannot keep the spinal cord. If you practice this, then you can sit steadily for hours and hours. It's just to practice. Then you will not get any sleep also. But many people, they cannot put their feet on this thigh, opposite thigh. It's difficult. But yogis, it is necessary. Next, ninth. So asana, about asana is said. That is the thing is explained there. How to do. Pranasya shodha yen margam purukumbhakare chakai pratikulena vachittam yatha sthirama chanchalam. And now next what? After asana, 8th sloka is telling about asana, 9th is telling about the pranayam. How to do the pranayam? So the yogi should clear the passage of vital air by breathing in the following manner. First, he should inhale very deeply. That means one nose. Close this nose, one, and inhale everything. Then hold the breath in and finally exhale. And hold it, and then hold it for as much as possible. Then after that, open, and through this, you will be releasing out. Then after that, do the reverse actually. Releasing, and you should hold. That means you should hold the without empty lungs also you should keep for some time as much as. Then after that, do the thing from this nose. Take the air from this nose and hold it, and as much as you can. Then once again, slowly release from this nose and completely release it and make the lungs empty and stay back. And then after that, once again, take from this. Like this, by doing like this, what? Our air, vital air is purified so that mind can be controlled. If air is properly stabilized in your body, because mind is floating in the air. So if air is properly flowing in whole body systematically, then mind is also stable. And you can focus on whatever thing you need. That's a basic Ashtanga yoga system can be utilized for the service. Yeah, we can also have in breaks, every 1 hour we should stop and do the pranayam for 2 minutes and do. Then you can focus more. Eating less and doing pranayama, sitting straightly, all these will definitely help. These breathing exercises are performed to control the mind and fix it in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Swa Manaha Krishna Padara Vindayo. The devotee Ambarish Maharaj fixed his mind on the lotus feet of the Krishna 24 hours a day. This process of Krishna consciousness is to chant Hare Krishna and hear. Of course, we don't need to do this breathing exercise, but of course, because now we are having that much taste on the Krishna's holy name. So may take help actually. What is the problem? You are not having so much ruchi in the holy name. So, but you are convinced to do this Krishna consciousness and ruchi is not there. So maybe some kind of help can be taken. But we should have full Shraddha on the bhakti only. That means we should not undermine the bhakti's power. So our consciousness philosophically also and also in the heart, bhakti can do everything. But because of my shortcomings, so maybe, so some, so like healthy food is, prasadam can be taken anything, any type, but still we will be having our own conditions. Na? I don't want this and I don't want that. Some conditionally only we take prasadam also because of your physical health, because you are in the touch of the modes. So that's why intellectually, so how to become advanced in the more and more Krishna consciousness. Once you are fully advanced in the Krishna consciousness, then this material conditioning will be completely is finished. So before that advancement, maybe some help is there, then it's not a wrong thing. But it doesn't mean that we should not undermine the bhakti. Even if you don't follow, then bhakti will take care. But it will become late because of our conditioning. So the process of Krishna consciousness is to chant Hare Krishna and to hear the sound attentively so that mind is fixed upon the transcendental vibration of the Krishna's name, which is non-different from Krishna, the personality. The real purpose of controlling the mind by the prescribed method of clearing the passage of life air is achieved immediately if one fixes his mind directly on the lotus feet of the Krishna. The Hatha Yoga system or the breathing system is especially recommended for those who are very absorbed in the concept of bodily existence. But who can perform a simple process of chanting Hare Krishna can fix the mind more easily. It means too much engrossed in the meetings, and further, so it seems like something is needed. Maybe something actually, but if you really have taste, you are focusing on the chanting, and then mind will be easily through that taste in the chanting easily controlled. That is more natural actually. By the just life air purifying is not a real system, but help may be taken. So, but it is not absolutely purifying the heart. Absolute purification of the heart will happen only by the holy name. 3 different activities are recommended for cleaning the passage of the breath: Puraka, Kumbhaka, and Rechika. These are all the. Puraka means filling. Kumbhaka means holding that. And next Rechika means releasing out. These are the 3. So these recommended processes can also be performed in the reverse order. After exhaling, one can keep the air outside from the some time, and then like we are seeing. So we are releasing out and keeping some time, and also inhaling and keeping on releasing out, like that. The nerves through which inhalation and exhalation are conducted are technically called Ida and Pingala. The ultimate purpose of clearing the Ida and Pingala passages is to divert the mind from material enjoyment. As stated, and one's mind is also his friend. It is a so position varies according to the different dealings of the living entity. If we divert our mind to throughout the material enjoyment, then our mind becomes an enemy. If we concentrate our mind, it will become friend. By yoga, Puraka, Kumbhaka, and Rechika, by directly fixing the mind, one sound vibration of the on the form of Krishna, so the same purpose is achieved. Even focusing on the sound, it will be helpful. Okay, next 10th. Mano chirasya dvirajam jitashvasasya yoginah vayivagnibhyam yatha loham maram tyajati vaimalam. Translation: the yogis who practice such breathing exercise are very soon freed from the material disturbances, just as gold, when put into fire and fanned with air, becomes free from all its. Okay, so then heart, mind will be purified. Pranayamair deho doshan dharana vischa kilvishan pratyaharena samsargan Dhyane nanishwaran gunan. So translation: by practicing the process of pranayama, one can eradicate the contamination of his psychological condition. And by concentrating the mind, one can become free from all sinful activities. So by doing the pranayama, what? Pratyahara, you are able to control your senses. Mind will be purified, then senses will be easily controlled. By restraining the senses, one can free himself from the material association, and by meditating one Supreme Personality of Godhead, so one can become free from the modes of material nature. So that's in the 11th sloka is telling about the pratyahara. So purified mind is useful, so to control the senses. Yada manaswam virajam yogena susamahitam kashtam bhagavato dhyayet swana sagravalokanah. When the mind is perfectly purified by this practice of yoga, one should concentrate it on the tip of the nose with half closed eyes and see the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now mind is purified. So now you should come to the stage of dharana. That means fixing the eye. That means his concentration on tip of the nose. This key practice. So he should do. So now what he has to do? So after purifying, after controlling their senses, he has to fix his mind. He perfectly purified and should concentrate on the tip of his nose. He'll always, with half closed eyes, seeing the tip of the nose. And also half closed eyes and see the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Next, Prasavannavadana Padma Garbha Runekshanam Nilotphala Shyamam Shanka Chakra Gadadharam. So if you see, so he will be seeing the form of the Lord. What kind of form is explained here? The Supreme Personality of Godhead has a cheerful lotus-like countenance with ruddy eyes like the interior of a lotus, and swarthy body like the petals of a blue lotus. He bears a conch, disc, and mace in 3 of his hands. In one hand there is a lotus, and his body is like blue lotus color. Blue lotus, did anyone see blue lotus? I saw blue lotus. I also, yeah. So that's his body's hue is blue lotus, and also his eyes are reddish eyes. This, and those are like in the lotus. In the reddish color will be there if you see the petals, the reddish, like that his eyes, and cheerful eyes, and in that form one should see this kind of form. And in the next slokas are also describing about the Lord's beauty. Lasat pankaja kinjalka Pita Kausheya Vasasam Sri Vatsa Vakshasam Braja Kaustubha Mukta Kandaram. So his loins are covered by a shiny cloth, yellowish like the filaments of the lotus. So on his breast he bears the mark of Srivatsa, a curl of white hair. The brilliant Kaustubha gem is suspended from his neck. See how his Pitambara. So he's wearing the yellow garment. That yellowness is, if you see the lotus, that filament is in the yellow color. Kind of yellow color. So he's wearing that clothes, and also on that his breast there is Srivatsa and there is a Kaustubha mani. मत्तद्विरेफ कलया परीतं वनमालया परार्द्याहारवलया किरीटांगदनूपुरम्. Translation: He also wears around his neck a garland of attractive Selvan flowers and a swarm of bees, intoxicated by its delicious fragrance, hums about the garland. He is further superbly adorned with a pearl necklace, a crown, and pairs of armlets, bracelets, and anklets. So he's having, that means Vajayanti Mala. And also he is having a necklace in his, and the many bees are attracted by those flowers. They want, because of the aroma coming from those flowers, so they want to drink nectar there, honey. So thinking like that, they are coming. And like this, lots. He's having anklets and armlets. Kanchi gunolla satsrenim sronim hridayamboja vishtaram darshaniya tamam shantam mano nayana vardhanam. Translation: His loins and hips encircled by a girdle, he stands on the lotus of his devotee's heart. He is most charming to look at, and his serene aspect gladdens the eyes and soul of the devotees who behold him. And where he is standing, actually in the lotus on devotee's heart. And he is looking cheerfully towards his devotees. So they are meditating on the Paramatma who is in the heart. Apicha darshanam shashvat sarvaloka namaskrutam santam vayasi kaishore brutyanugraha kataram. The Lord is eternally very beautiful, and he is worshipable by all the inhabitants of every planet. He is ever youthful and always eager to bestow his blessings upon his devotees. And he is so beautiful, and he is ready to bestow his blessings. Just he is waiting when he will look towards me. Now he is looking, yogi. So then he will be getting the mukti, actually. That's why. Salukya and so on. This is the thing. And he is having the age of Kaishora. That means always he is in the age of 15 years. Panchadasha Varsha is known as Kaishora Avastha. He is always in that. Kaishora. Kaishore Santam Vayasi Brutyanugraha Kataram. He is eager to give mercy, his mercy to his servants. Sarvaloka Namaskritam. He is worshipable by everyone. So Prabhupada is also writing Brahma Samhita. Shashvat means ever existing. And Brahma Samhita also Anadi Purusham. Anadi Govindam. So that is the word he is using. Is like that. Next. Kirtanya Tirthayashasam Punya Shloka Vayaskaram Dhyaye Devam Samagrangam Yavannachavate Manaha. So the glory of the Lord is always worth singing, for his glories enhance the glories of his devotees. One should therefore meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead and upon his devotees. One should meditate on the eternal form of the Lord until the mind becomes fixed. One should therefore meditate upon the Supreme Personality, upon Godhead and upon his devotees. One should meditate on the eternal form of the until the mind becomes fixed. He is in the dharana stage. Now he is doing the dharana. So it is becoming fixed means that is dhyana actually. So like that he is keep on practicing. Kirtanarham tirtha rupam cha yashaso yasya. So Lord's form is such a beautiful, it is eligible to do kirtan. That means Lord's form is so beautiful, his qualities are so many qualities are there in that form, and those are all so worth to chant actually, those qualities. That's why Kirtanya Tirtha Yashasam means Kirtanarham Tirtha Rupam cha Yashaha Yasyasa. Who is having such a glory, so which can be glorified or chanted. That is the meaning. Kirtanya Tirtheshasam. And that kind of Lord, till the mind is fixed, he has to try to focus on the or meditate on that. Okay, this is the 10 minutes we took extra. That one has to fix his mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead constantly. When this is the last sloka, we are finishing here. So when one is accustomed to thinking of one of the innumerable forms of the Lord, Krishna, Vishnu, Rama, Narayana. So he has reached the perfection of the yoga. This is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. A person who has developed pure love for the Lord and whose eyes are smeared with the ointment of the transcendental loving exchange always sees within his heart the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The devotees especially see the Lord in the beautiful blackish form of Sam Sundara. That is the perfection of yoga. This yoga system should be continued until the mind doesn't vacillate for a moment. Om Tat Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suryaha. The form of Vishnu is the highest individuality and is always visible to sages and saintly persons. Yes, this is the and Punya Shloka SS Karam. This is Lord's glory is like that. It is so purifying. Punya Shloka means his glory is so such a way it can purify. That is a Punya Shloka. And also Kirtanyarha, Kirtanya Tirtha Yashasa. His glory is worth to chant. That's the thing. And the beauty of the Lord is that the devotees who connected with his activities are also glorified. So he's saying that Lord and also Lord devotees are also glorified. They are also like Lord. That means their glory is also like Lord's glories. That he is saying here in the last paragraph. Prahlad Maharaj's father was a demon and Bali Maharaj was the grandson of the Prahlad Maharaj. But still they have become famous because of their association with the Lord. Anyone who is eternally associated with the Lord is glorified with the Lord. So that's why we are also Narsingha Arati will be glorifying the Prahlad Maharaj also. That's the thing. So we'll end today's discussion here. Our discussion. So quickly, so can we find any questions actually in this? Till now, whatever we discussed, much is not there actually. List out the Yamanimas mentioned by the Kapila Bhagavan in this chapter. Okay, this is 2 marks. Please write this. List out the Yama and Niyamas mentioned by the Kapila Bhagavan while explaining the Ashtanga Yoga system. Okay, this 2 marks. That you should write answer for this in 3rd and 4th. Okay. Next, so describe the how asana describe asana stage as explained by Kapila. In asana, how what you should do, that is there in the 8th sloka. Okay. This is also yes. This is 1 mark only actually. 2 marks and no need of 2 marks. And next verse is 8th verse. 8th verse is that. Then by the asana, then after that what? Pranayam. I also describe this another 2 marks. 1 mark actually. Describe the pranayam mentioned by or explained by Kapila. Pranayam, which is explained by Kapila. Then prana, that is Puraka, Kumbhaka, Rechaka. These things. That means inhaling and exhaling and keeping this. Ninth verse. You should explain Puraka, Kumbhaka, Rechaka. Puraka means filling. And next, by that what? Mind will be purified. Na? So, mind is purified, and then after that, mind is pranayama by that. So, pratyahara is happening, and then one should meditate on the start dharana then. So, pratyahara after that, dharana. In the dharana, he will be, so what he is doing? He is focusing. Describe dharana. 2 marks. Then what is the answer for this? Dharana is said in the Yada Manah Swam Virajam Yogana. That means after purifying the mind by the pranayama and pratyahara. So then what one should do? Dhyayet Swanasagram. One should meditate on the tip of his nose and see what? See the Lord. Okay. Now, okay. This verse is 12. Dharana is said there only. Okay. And now they should what? They should see the Lord. So now describe the Lord who should be meditated in the stage of dharana. Or describe the Lord's form on whom on which otherwise describe the Lord's form. You can edit the questions. It's intention, you know, na? So you can edit the questions. So describe the Lord's form on which yogi has describe the Lord's form which yogi has to see in his dharana stage. 13, 14, 15 and 16 and 17, 18, five marks. Write the only 5 lines. Simple. So he's having this is vastras, this is this, and this kind of. So his body hue is like this, his eyes are like this, and after that he is wearing the pitambara, yellow garments, and he is wearing the Srivatsa, Kaustubhamani necklace and conch shell, and these in the other hands, and he is always looking towards his devotees, and like that, cheering glances, and his glory is such a way like that. How much? It is very simple. 5 lines. You cannot write. It's very easy. What is difficulty in this? That's all. That much only we learned today. Dog and donkey story. No need to write that. That is out of syllabus. surprising question. Ride the dog and donkey. Because in the Yamanima, he's saying that before that, he's saying that one should follow Swadharma and Swadharma Charanam Vidharmacha Nivritti. So to explain this, explain the dog and donkey story. He can say, don't write this question. Okay, thank you very much. Any questions or comments or anything? Otherwise, fine. Tomorrow we'll finish the chapter. And Friday we'll be starting 19th chapter. So it will take 3 days. Monday and also Tuesday will take. So Tuesday onwards, Kanai Krishna Prabhu will take 30th chapter onwards. So you'll be having exam. Okay, tell me the examination date. When you are going to write. You are all enjoying. Okay. Fix the date now. Fix the date. We should do more exams. Every day we should conduct various exams. You will be having in the month of Kartik, you will be having so because we are going to finish 3rd canto. So these assignments, that means open book, and also you will be asked in the Kartik, you should focus on more meditating on Bhakti Vaibhava courses. And also you'll be asked to do more PPTs, Bhagavatam class will be scheduled. Schedule will be prepared by Kanai Krishna Prabhu. So he will send that. I will ask him. So last batch also he did. So this time also he will do. So, but what about the exam? When we can have exam? So I will be finishing 29th chapter by Tuesday. That means 26th. Then after that, 30th chapter also I will consider. I will be conducting exam from 21st chapter to 30th chapter. And remaining 3 chapters and 4th canto 7 chapters will be the one more exam. So because 7 chapters only those, that is 1 unit actually, Dakshopakyanam. And you can add these 3 chapters to that. Then that will be 10 chapters and 1 exam. It will be easy. Then these 10 chapters will be finishing. 30th chapter is 2 days. Then it is 28th will be finished your syllabus for this. Then after that 10 days you take. And that means 10 days means 1, 2, 3. Okay. 3 plus 7. 8th November. 8th November will be the exam. Yes, yes. Is there any festival is there on that day? Jai Gopinath Prabhu. Tell me, Prabhu.
It's Prabhupada disappearance day.
Oh my God. That's why I'm thinking. Any festival is there on that day.
That's why it is there.
Prabhupada's
day-
disappearance.
The next day is okay.
Next day. Next 9th. You'll be having 3 days holidays then. Yeah. 9th is good actually. Huh? It's not so big actually here. We do one glorification and feast and something only. It's not that we are not in the temple now, so not a big manner it is going to happen. You'll be having a lot of time actually. Basic, that means glorification will be done. And this, because you will be having Saturday, Sunday is completely free. And also something you can revise on that day also. Prosper disappearance means whole day is not a festival. Na? So sometimes maybe some people may go to Vrindavan or may not go also. So glorification we hear and we take prasadam, that's all. It's not like Krishnashtami, na? Just Janmashtami festival is when it will be conducting whole day, many programs, guests are coming, these, that. But what about the online students? It's okay on the 9th. Jai Damodar Prabhu, Jai Gopinath Prabhu, sir. Because okay. Radha Gordhan Prabhu, you have any problem? You have any big services and difficulty?
No, Prabhuji, 15th I would prefer.
Prabhu?
15th, next Monday.
You will forget, Prabhu. Actually, it will be a lot of load will be coming on you then. Then you will be having another chapters also. This is preparing, that is pending work. You should prepare for these things also, and that also revising. It will become problem. 9th already long actually, and 9th is good actually. Otherwise, one more week, so many. This 4th candle also will go on. Open books also will come. Yeah. 9th is okay. Yeah. 9th is okay. We'll fix 9th. There's a Tuesday, 9th. We'll be having some. Huh? Yes, yes. Yeah. Huh? Jai Gopinath Prabhu, you have something?
Whenever winter holidays starts to
Winter holiday starts in December ending, Prabhu, last week.
or last week of this.
Yes. And whole January, almost all January we give winter vacation.
Oh.
Yeah. Instead of having the holidays at the finishing of first module, that is 3rd canto, we have the holidays in December ending actually, because we are waiting for how the cold will be attacking on us. So we should give an appropriate time when there is cold is peak here. At that time is good. Yeah.
Okay.
But January will be the complete, mostly January. The 3 weeks definitely holiday. 4th week also mostly. So I have to discuss in an academic meeting and finalize. I will let you know, Prabhu.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.